What's up, guys? Mikey's back. Hey, I want to run over, run over. Not gonna redo that. That'll be funny, right? I want to review alt, right? Alt's a different type of daily setup, right? And I'll minimize this real quick. A nice liquidity trap right here, taking place at alt, right? You can see a couple of really good pivots right here for this to reclaim. Uh, we had some nice after-hour increasing price action and then pre-market consolidation over here, right? It did do a nice weak open really quick and then it got swiped really fast. All right, I'll break down the book too. Also understand that what kind of setup this is leading into is super important daily wise, right? So I stood and zoomed in right here, but if you zoom out, then you're going to start to realize that this is a window gap type of daily setup. So we had a liquidity trap right here. The thing did not break down, gaps up pretty much next to highs right here, opens above these two previous days, and then really starts to crank out, right? I'll show you the book too. I think it's really important. I think it's way better than just looking at these candlesticks. Again, I say that a million times because, what are you going to do, right? Here goes that pretty much weak open that you would see on the candlesticks, right? It looks like a big buyer steps in right here, right at open, or right before open, sorry. And then it has this weak open, right? There's really no appetite of selling or even buying on this one. Pretty much algo driven to me, in my opinion, right? Not a lot of market slappers and things like that, but new bids start to come in on this one, right? Helps kind of price action. You get the best offer. Starting to look for those magnets above here. Super important. All right. Now, this is another thing too, right? When you're zooming out of this, you kind of see where there's liquidity all over the map, right? So now that we start to break out and we pull back, a new bidder steps in right over here against 580s, okay? There's some seller exhaustion going on right here where you see some selling and then the appetite of the selling starts to dwindle. All right, and now we got some deeper bidders right here. You can see there's a 36K, right? You can see some bidders here at 575, 20,000 shares. All right, and then you can kind of start seeing another absorption right here. So a bidder does get put into place right here at 20K. A seller comes in, or anybody who's trading this, whether it's shorts, people taking profits, people bailing all at once. This is another great example of absorption right here. All right, this is a perfect one in the sense that you see a big seller come in and then the selling stops. All right, super important. All right, now this thing is setting up very beautiful higher lows. Okay, I want to go another one. There's another breakdown. Here goes another one. Perfect. Okay, this is another absorption again. I just dropped a video too on PHIO. This will be the absorption after this seller right here. And then you see a bidder kind of steps up right here. And then a buyer comes and absorbs the offer right here. And you kind of see price action follow through. PHIO did the same thing. There was a lot of tickers, MLGO, SERA, all doing very similar price actions, right? Very, very phenomenal today. Now, again, I talk about empty space, right? If there's no bids trying to hold this up, you kind of see empty space on the way up, right? Once we break through this, there's empty space. You zoom in and out, you'll start to see the heat map start to step up. But the liquidity on the offer side is really not that heavy over this 625 offer, right? As things start to break down, okay, always remember where we're at. All right, remember where we're at, right? So this thing pulls back right here. Test is $6, but we're over a previous supply area. Supply, once broken, potentially comes into demand, right? Ideally, you want to see these get heavy and then break down fully, okay? This was another great ad spot for me, 640s. And I'll tell you why. I'll kind of show you why I took this one. All right. This was a great one, in my opinion, too, on the book, where this is a previous area of interest. You kind of see a buyer come in and remove the liquidity looking left. And then you have this low consolidation right here. Then this thing pulls back, breaks this area, but here goes another absorption. Okay. Another great absorption right? And then the selling kind of stops. Sellers get exhausted. There's no more follow through, and then you don't see the book flip or heavy ask kind of walking this down with it, right? It's super important. Okay. Um, and then I saw bidders come in, and this is where I started to take my 642 ads on this one, and we held for a right. I held at least for this potential window gap filling right here, right? So if you break this down, I already marked my zone. You can see it says window gap on there. I'm wanting to see this actually break and fill it somewhat. All right. Now on the daily, this window gap is pretty big, right? So you have all this space, but remember, there's some floors right here that needs to clear, and then there's a breakdown candle right here too, and this is where we're kind of playing with right now in this one. All right, so it's important to zoom out and see where other breakdown areas are to become a potential ceiling, in my opinion. You know, and the book doesn't lie. All right, the book doesn't lie. You kind of see, all right, as price action increases, again, some beautiful higher lows, and then you have some support into these areas. Okay, there was a consistent offer sitting at 750, right? When this thing broke out, it didn't even come close to tapping this, right? There's a lot of empty space on this one. They pulled this bidder, and you can see how this one gets sold into, right? But it's clear that you start to see a shift in the book for right now, right? It's key, right? Understanding the hows and the whys, and looking at price action on the front side of the legs versus when potential backsides going to kick in. All right, you can see how once it starts to break down, this is putting in lower highs. Then they throw in a nice offer right here at 715, but it's pretty much between 713 and 717. All right, a little bit of book flip right here. You kind of see even the support that it had right here is getting sold into, bounced, pulled back, and now it's trading sideways. Let's see potentially if these areas hold, but Mikey is totally done with his play, 100%. This is another amazing trade for me today. PHIO alt. All right, guys, I'll be breaking down MLGO, SERA. Peace out. Much love.